morning, everyone. Y'all come on in. Thought I'd give y'all just a minute to grab a snack or do something before I got on, and I had to do a couple things too. So that strawberry salad Mary made sure did look good. I know a bunch of y'all are going to be making it, and I know I've got a counter full of stuff here. Tried to clean some of it off, but I'm going to start. Now, this is going to be the red layer of my patriotic cake. So thank y'all for joining me. I'm Linda with Pinky Moss Cakes, Cookies, and Candy. And I am doubling this recipe. So it's going to be a huge amount of cake batter. And I'm making a 10-inch. And I'm also making a 7-inch. I believe this is 7-inch. A 7-inch. So I didn't want to cut the big cake. So I wanted to make a smaller one so we could cut it to taste of it. So I'm going to start, and this is softened butter. And this is I'm doubling the recipe. So when I put the recipe on here, I'll just put the single recipe. Y'all will know what I'm doing is the double batch here and not a single batch here. But I'll post the single batch is what I'm trying to say or getting at. So I've got a whole pound of butter, and I'm just going to start by creaming it, and then we'll add our sugar and eggs. And I have a feeling this is going to be too much batter for these two pans, so I thought if there's any left, which I think it will be, I'll just make some cupcakes out of it. So this butter is soft, so it won't take a long time to cream it. I'm not concerned about it being white because it's going to be a red cake anyway, so the longer you beat butter, the whiter it gets. Hope this bowl's going to be big enough. All right. Get this way here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar. And now don't freak out because this is for a double cake. So I'm adding, let's see, sugar. 3.5 cups of sugar. And I probably need to add this a little at a time. So I'm going to add 1.5 cups and beat it just a little. Then I'll add the other 2 cups. Oops. I'm going to be using that strawberry puree that we made the other day. So I don't know if any of y'all made any or not, or if you're just going to do just another version of a red, white, and blue or something else patriotic. But I think, I don't know, because I've never made this recipe before, but I think it's going to be good. It sure sounded good when I saw it. It's the name of the cake is actually Strawberry Velvet Cake is the name of it. Okay, I'll go ahead and add some more sugar. Try to work with one hand here. I've already made one cake this morning. I made the almond layer, and I got that cooling. I got my Tupperware bowl out. Trying to get this cup full and I hope I don't have to stop and change bowls. This is not not going to be very nice, but I think I am going to have to change bowls. I just don't think this is big enough. I'll go ahead and get my eggs in here. Well, you know what? It'll be less messy if I take it out now. So I'm going to grab a bigger bowl, move the sugar out of the way, and I don't know how many of y'all do this, but start in one bowl and realize it's not big enough. I'm not real bad about doing that. I can usually judge, but this time I didn't. So I'm using my big Tupperware bowl and use this bowl scraper here to get my dry ingredients out of the way so y'all can see. That's heavy. I'm going to run over to town after a while, after this gets done. There's a couple of things over there I want to pick up, and also I want to take some pictures. I'm not sure if the flags are up yet on the bridge or not, but if they are, take some pictures. Our town goes all out for holidays, and the 4th of July is one of the ones that is really celebrated here in Jefferson. I don't know if many of you got to see that post I posted on my personal page the other day, but I shared a little piece about Jefferson, and I know I've told a little bit of history about this before, but at one time it was the 6th largest city in Texas, and it was actually bigger than Dallas, if you can believe that. So this recipe, the single recipe, calls for 4 eggs. Of course, I'm doubling this. And my almond cake, I didn't use the yellows, the yolks, so I'm going to do 5 eggs and 4 yolks, and that's just because I didn't want to waste these yolks, and these are extra large eggs, so I figured that that would be enough. So let's crack these one at a time here. I almost dropped that egg. We'll do 2 and stir. Whoops. A little shell in that. And then I'll add the rest. Somebody asked me the other day, was this mixer heavy? I'm always switching arms. And it's a little heavier than a hand mixer, but I'm so used to it that it really doesn't bother me. Now, if you have bad arthritis, you know, it might bother you, and, you know, these aren't even available anymore, but I know a lot of you have them or bought one for somebody else or something. But I love, it looks funky, but I love my cordless Pampered Chef mixer. I use this thing almost every day, literally. When I scrambled eggs, I even mix my eggs because I like for the yellow and the yolk and the white to be mixed real good. So I just get my little mixer out and mix them real quick. All right. Get this out of the way. Sometimes it just seems like you just run out of space. Okay, I'm going to get my buttermilk out of the refrigerator, and then get my dry ingredients, and I'm going to alternate between the strawberry puree and my dry ingredients. And I was real lucky the other day. I actually found some full-fat buttermilk at Kroger. You hardly ever find it, and it had a good date on it. So I was happy to get that, and I'm going to use a cup of buttermilk. Let me make sure that's right. Yep, a cup. Okay. My eggs, my sugar, my butter. I'm marking these off as, oh, forgot to look for some strawberry extract. I think I have some in my cabinet up there, but I didn't actually look. I'll have to look in a minute. Now, bear with me just a second. I think I've got some strawberry extract up here. But I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got some, but I'm not going to worry about that because I'm using these fresh strawberries, and so I'm just not going to worry about that at all. If you have strawberry extract, you definitely could use a little bit. So this calls for, it's 2.5 cups of flour, but since I'm doubling it, it's going to be 5 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to put half of it in, which I'm using 5 cups, so I'm going to put, well, actually, I'll put not half because I'm not halving it. I'll put 3 cups in, and the rest of my dry ingredients. Okay, that's 2. And I do mark this down sometimes to make sure that I'm not losing count. And I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm using, oops, no, I need 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. That was for 1. So 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Mark this off my list. And then I'm going to use a teaspoon of salt. And I'm also using 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. Now this is something a little different. I don't normally put cornstarch in cakes, but I'm going to go ahead and add this. My little canister was almost empty, and I had to open another box. 2, 3, 4. Now, just like the rest of the flour, let me get this. And I'm going to pour my vanilla in with my buttermilk. And this is my strawberry puree that we made the other day. And it's not quite 4 cups, so I may need to add a little bit more buttermilk for my liquid. I'm going to go ahead and pour part of this in here. It's very thick and concentrated. And I'm going to pour part of my buttermilk in here. I probably will have to add more buttermilk. Ooh, that strawberry smells so good. It's so concentrated. I don't want to over mix this, so I'm just gonna, this batter is already looking really, really good. And on the vanilla, now it didn't actually call for vanilla, but I put vanilla in almost everything. So I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons of vanilla in here. 1, 2. And I'm going to add some more flour. We need 3 more cups of flour. It's amazing how often I have to refill my canister. Okay, that's 3. And a little bit more of this. Now, I'm not dumping it all in at one time because it would be a lot harder to get it mixed up, and I want to make sure that all the dry ingredients get mixed up real good with the wet. I've got my oven on 350, and I don't know how long it's going to take to cook this, but when I put the recipe on there, I'll tell y'all how long I cooked it. Now, another thing that I'm about to do that some of you may or may not agree with, but I'm going to put some red food coloring in this, and I want the batter to be red, and that's why I'm putting the red food coloring in it. And I'm going to do probably 2 or 3 drops and see, well, more than 2 or 3 drops. It's probably going to be maybe a half a teaspoon, and I'll see how this works and then see if I need more. Okay, this is 4 cups here. And I'll go ahead and do the 5th cup. Okay. And I'm going to pour all of my buttermilk in there, and I'm fixing to get that buttermilk back out because I know I'm going to need more. This bowl is 4 cups to the top, and it was probably at least a cup, maybe a hair over, being 4 cups. Let's see. Well, I don't. According to that, it's not 4 cups, it's 3 cups. So I shouldn't need any more buttermilk. We'll find out. We'll find out real quick here. Because I only needed 2 cups, and that was actually 3. It's a really thick batter. Okay, that definitely enhanced the color of the batter, but it's still not as red as I want it. So I'm going to put some more in it, and until I get it kind of the color that I want it. Let's see, do I have my, yeah, I do. Whoops. And probably put about 2 teaspoons total. Now, if y'all don't want to use the red food color, don't use it. You know, I just wanted to, so I'm using it because I want this to be red. It's actually still kind of pink. I wish I could do this with one hand, but I can't. So now if you get this red food coloring on your counter, if you take a little SOS pad and just barely lightly scrape it, you'll get that that red food color, and it'll come right off. Whoops. That wasn't good. I don't think I've ever made a cake from scratch that the batter is this thick, or any kind as far as that goes. I don't want to keep beating it. You don't want to overbeat it. All right, let me get this out of the way here. Now we're going to see how many pans it's going to take with all this cake batter. I think I got enough here for about 6 layers. It's a lot of cake batter I've got. All right. We'll do the 10-inch one first. And let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will or not. I'm going to try it. I know I got everything in here. I'm definitely going to have some cupcakes to go with this. I don't want this to run over. I might take a little bit of that out. Now, this pan, I've got parchment in the bottom, and I've also got parchment on the sides. And I'm going to pop this here, get the bubbles out. That's heavy, very heavy. I've got it not quite half full, just about half full. And this is a 7-inch cake. I already told y'all that. A 7-inch cake pan. This one's only 2 inches tall. That one's 3 inches. So this one's not. Get this one about half full, and I'll get out a muffin can to put the rest of that in. And I want to get these in the oven and then go over the recipe with you, even though I am going to list it. This cake's too heavy for one hand. That's a heavy cake. And I'm going to set the timer for about 15 minutes. And then I may need to turn it down to 325 because that cake's going to take longer to cook. Let me see if I can get one of my big pans. Ooh, down here. Because I don't want to waste this batter. I think I'll use some muffin tins if I can find them. I mean some wrappers. Those are not the ones I want, so I'll just spray the tins. Very seldom ever that I use spray, but I'm going to use it this time. I'm going to do 4 and see if it needs any more than that. These muffins aren't going to be exactly even. And I didn't mean to keep y'all this full hour, but it looks like I have kept you this full hour. Okay, let's pop these in the oven, and then I'll go over the recipe for you. Now, we normally post the recipes with the pictures, but I won't be able to do a picture of this because, you know, this is going to be a cake that I'm decorating, and I'm not going to be able to decorate this until I get all my cakes done, cooled, and ready to put together. And for those of you who don't do a lot of decorating on cakes, it's really best. A lot of bakers even freeze the layers. I don't. As a rule, I don't. I have, but that's not how I bake. But I do like to wrap them really good, the layers. And if you put them back in the pan, when you put them in the refrigerator, it's going to keep them from the sides bending if something in the refrigerator gets pushed up against it. And I'm sure y'all know, I know the reason I know this is because it's happened to me before. So I wash the pans and then I line it and then put the wrapped cake back in the pan and stick it in the refrigerator. And you can use a cake board, let's see here, to stack them. And that way they're not stacked on top of each other, the actual cake. You can put a pan on the bottom, put one of these, or if you don't have these, you can put just a piece of cardboard and then put another cake and do that. And that way they're stacked and it doesn't take as much room in the refrigerator. And that's something that, you know, that I've done for ages. So what I'm going to go over now and what I'll put on here for the recipe, and this is a strawberry velvet cake. It's 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Let's see, where's my sugar? 1 3/4 cup of granulated sugar, and then half a cup, which is 2 sticks of softened butter, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, half a teaspoon of salt, and then for your puree, your strawberry puree, you want a cup. And for your buttermilk, you want a 1/2 cup. Now, y'all saw that I used 3 cups of puree, and that batter was super thick. So I would definitely adjust this, and I will put in parentheses what I used. I think you're going to need 3 cups of strawberry puree, or either 2 cups and 2 cups of buttermilk. You need about 4 cups of liquid is what you need in order to mix this all up. And then a couple of teaspoons of vanilla extract. If you have strawberry extract, a teaspoon of that. And then I use the red food coloring. And again, if you don't want to use it, don't use it. You know, don't. I know, like I said, there's controversy about that right now, and they're taking it out of a lot of products. But we've eaten stuff with it in it for years. Didn't kill me yet. So sometimes you want something to color, and you have to color it. So use it or no, whatever suits your fancy. And then I'm going to bake it. I've got the oven on 350. I'm going to probably bake it for the little one probably at least 22 minutes. The big one's probably going to have to bake, I'm going to say probably maybe 45 minutes, but I will monitor that closely. I'm using a deep pan, and y'all keep that in mind. If you're using regular size cake pans, usually the rule on that is 22, 25 minutes, maybe 26 or 27. You don't want to overbake your cake layers because it'll make them dry out. And there's a way to fix it. You can put simple syrup on them to get them moist. But if you don't bake them too long, they'll retain their moisture and will be nice and soft, and you won't have to have a simple syrup on it. So I don't know when I'll be back to do the 3rd layer. It's going to be blue, and I haven't yet decided what flavor, what I want to put with it that's going to go with the almond and the strawberry. I'll decide before the day's over, because I want to get that made so I can decorate this cake. I'm thinking maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Well, it won't be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Maybe Thursday or Friday is when I'll be decorating. If y'all want to join me back for that, that's going to be the fun part. And I'll make the buttercream probably maybe ahead of time. If y'all want to see me make the buttercream live, let me know. I've made it before. But if you want to see me do a buttercream video, just put in the comments, and I'll know to do a live video with that. So I hope y'all have a great day. And I didn't mean to keep y'all this long, but you know, when you do a homemade cake from scratch, it takes longer than it does just opening a box and pouring a few things in it. So stay cool and stay dehydrated. Stay hydrated, not dehydrated. Stay hydrated, and always be kind, and always count your blessings. And I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. A lot of dishes to clean up.